1. Which adult learning principle is most applicable when a virtual assistant trainer designs tasks that relate directly to real-world client projects? A. Memorization. B. Relevance. C. Standardization. D. Imitation. 2. When measuring the success of virtual assistant onboarding, which evaluation method best demonstrates long-term retention of procedures? A. Exit surveys. B. Skill demonstration after weeks. C. Attendance records. D. Pre-training tests. 3. The first step in curriculum development for virtual assistant skills training should be A. Building assessments. B. Conducting needs analysis. C. Assigning mentors. D. Designing graphics. 4. For virtual assistants with varied language backgrounds, the most effective communication tool is A. Legal contracts. B. Complex manuals. C. Visual job aids. D. Academic journals. 5. A compliance audit for data privacy in a virtual assistant agency falls under what? A. Informal monitoring. B. Regulatory enforcement. C. Voluntary guidelines. D. Mentoring practices. 6. Mentoring a new virtual assistant typically focuses on A. Cost reduction strategies. B. Hands-on guidance and modeling. C. Scheduling automation only. D. Eliminating formal training. 7. Which adult learning principle ensures that new scheduling software lessons build on prior tools used by virtual assistants? A. Sequential learning. B. Reinforcement. C. Relevance. D. Memorization. 8. The best measure of a virtual assistant's communication course effectiveness is A. Attendance logs. B. Improved client satisfaction scores. C. Post-course social events. D. Number of slides used. 9. A curriculum for virtual assistants covering time management should primarily A. Define regulations. B. Bridge skill gaps. C. Emphasize entertainment. D. Avoid assessments. 10. When addressing virtual assistants with different literacy levels, trainers should A. Deliver lengthy lectures. B. Use visual demonstrations. C. Provide peer-reviewed research. D. Avoid multimedia tools. 11. Using GDPR rules in training highlights. A. Voluntary practice. B. Regulatory compliance. C. Incentive programs. D. Informal coaching. 12. Mentorship programs for virtual assistants should prioritize all A. Direct knowledge transfer. B. Reducing compliance paperwork. C. Limiting client exposure. D. Randomized tasks. 13. Adult learners in virtual assistant training benefit most from ... A. Strict memorization tasks. B. Connections to prior experience. C. Disconnected modules. D. Passive listening only. 14. A follow-up project assignment to test client communication reflects which evaluation level? A. Reaction. B. Behavior. C. Attendance. D. Regulation. 15. Conducting interviews to define new VA training needs is part of A. Needs assessment. B. Policy enforcement. C. Budget allocation. D. Branding. 16. A trainer providing visual workflow charts supports A. Cognitive load theory. B. Relevance. C. Memorization. D. Legal compliance. 17. A compliance officer checking that VAs follow HIPAA policies demonstrates A. Mentoring. B. Regulatory enforcement. C. Informal advice. D. Voluntary code. 18. An effective mentoring approach for VAs struggling with time management is A. Sharing practical techniques. B. Limiting their workload. C. Removing client tasks. D. Assigning legal documents. 19. Relating scheduling lessons to VAs' personal calendars applies A. Memorization. B. Relevance. C. Regulation. D. Documentation. 20. To test conflict resolution training. Which tool is best? A. Case study simulations. B. Attendance forms. C. Registration data. D. Budget sheets. 21. Determining whether VAs lack technical or communication skills falls under A. Mentoring. B. Needs analysis. C. Legal compliance. D. Memorization. 22. Demonstrating chatbot setup through screen share exemplifies A. Visual demonstration. B. Policy review. C. Memorization. D. Informal feedback. 23. OSHA compliance for remote workstations is an example of A. Regulatory enforcement. B. Voluntary program. C. Mentorship. D. Informal monitoring. 24. Coaching VAs to ask clarifying client questions reflects A. Mentorship. B. Legal enforcement. C. Memorization. D. Formal assessment. 25. Adults learning email management more effectively when linked to current workload is A. Reinforcement. B. Relevance. C. Memorization. D. Standardization. 26. Evaluating VA's improvement in productivity post-training is A. Behavior change measurement. B. Knowledge check. C. Attendance validation. D. Pre-course survey. 27. Building curriculum, starting with gaps in client feedback, addresses A. Needs assessment. B. Regulatory review. C. Peer mentoring. D. Memorization. 28. Illustrating tasks with icons and chart supports A. Visual communication. B. Legal enforcement. C. Incentive programs. D. Formal compliance. 29. Checking NDAs in VA contracts demonstrates A. Regulatory compliance. B. Informal mentoring. C. Needs analysis. D. Memorization. 30. Providing examples of effective email etiquette is part of A. Mentoring. B. Compliance audits. C. Attendance monitoring. D. Budgeting. 31. Adult learners retain training best when A. They see immediate relevance. B. They repeat memorization drills. C. They avoid assessments. D. They skip practice. 32. Evaluating leadership training by seeing if VAs mentor juniors later is A. Behavior measurement. B. Reaction analysis. C. Attendance tracking. D. Policy review. 33. Identifying VA skill gaps in CRM use before training is A. Needs assessment. B. Legal audit. C. Informal advice. D. Memorization. 34. Using infographics in VA training emphasizes A. Visual aids. B. Regulation. C. Policy enforcement. D. Memorization. 35. Requiring VAs to follow PCI DSS rules is A. Regulatory enforcement. B. Informal monitoring. C. Voluntary guideline. D. Mentoring. 36. Pairing new VAs with experienced ones demonstrates A. Mentorship. B. Attendance review. C. Regulation. D. Memorization. 37. Linking invoicing tasks to real client cases illustrates A. Relevance. B. Memorization. C. Policy enforcement. D. Standardization. 38. The best evaluation for teamwork training is A. Observed collaboration. B. Attendance sheets. C. Post-event survey. D. Lecture length. 39. Defining whether VAs lack grammar or tool skills is A. Needs analysis. B. Compliance check. C. Mentoring. D. Memorization. 40. Showing task completion visually instead of via text applies A. Visual demonstration. B. Memorization. C. Compliance. D. Incentive. 41. Mandating workplace safety standards for VAs is A. Regulatory enforcement. B. Voluntary program. C. Mentoring. D. Informal guidance. 42. Encouraging VAs to practice with templates under guidance is A. Mentoring. B. Compliance. C. Regulation. D. Budgeting. 43. Adult learning theory suggests VAs succeed more when A. Tasks are relevant. B. Knowledge is memorized only. C. Assessments are avoided. D. Regulation dominates. 44. Tracking client outcomes after project management training evaluates A. Behavior change. B. Attendance. C. Reaction. D. Policy. 45. Designing a VA curriculum around actual workflow problems uses A. Needs assessment. B. Mentorship. C. Policy review. D. Memorization. 46. Using diagrams in a CRM lesson is an example of A. Visual aids. B. Memorization. C. Regulation. D. Informal guidance. 47. Enforcing confidentiality policies for VAs is A. Regulatory enforcement. B. Mentorship. C. Informal support. D. Voluntary guide. 48. Guiding VAs through practical scheduling errors shows A. Mentorship. B. Regulation. C. Compliance. D. Memorization. 49. Adults mastering online research faster when tied to client goals reflects A. Relevance. B. Memorization. C. Regulation. D. Standardization. 50. The best evaluation for VA adaptability training is A. Observing applied skills. B. Counting attendance. C. Tracking slides used. D. Memorization drills.